My homies and my sexuals, come join me. I've got an update, I gotta be honest with you. I haven't been feeling it. I'm sure you guys could tell. Things just haven't really been going my way. I've been truly putting in my due diligence, doing my absolute best, shoving passion down my throat, and loving every second of whatever I could do every day, regardless of my knee being injured. And I was working through the workout today, snatch felt fine, not really any issues, like normal, it's kind of how it's been. And I get to my bench and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I got into a pretty bad headspace and I'm like, man, fuck it. Let me just put on some random heavyweight for this pause set and just fuck around and give myself something to be happy about. And I'm like, I do the 255 for 6. You'll see it later. But I sat there and I'm like, what is the easiest way to get myself injured? And that is by doing some stupid shit when I'm not feeling great. And I just am, giving yourself a lift to be proud of is not what it's about. It's about being proud of the effort that you're putting in regardless of that lift. And that's what I stand for. And I always believe that. And I still believe that, of course. I will always run that shit. But I've gone so back and forth, deluding myself, thinking that it's not going to be that long. I won't be injured until more than like next week. It'll be fine. I'll for sure feel back at 100% by next time. And I keep banking more and more on the next time. And every time I do, it makes it worse and worse. It's not just a physical game when it comes to my knee, but it's also mental. I got to keep myself with my head screwed on straight so I can truly do this to the best of my ability and actually recover. And so let me, at the very least, before we get into it, let me tell you what I've discovered. So, all in all, Olympic lifts and bench have no effect when it comes to my knee injury. I can lift as heavy as I fucking want and I feel fantastic, which is great. I'm very happy for that, and it gives me something else to work on as I'm recovering in the next, I'll let you know what I'm doing in a sec. But it doesn't make sense for my knee to be a strength issue if I can lift heavy on an Olympic lift, because a lot of my knee is necessary. I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, well, if just squat variations feel weird, why is that? And I know I talked a little bit about it before, going into how my right knee wasn't driving out as much. I looked more into that today, and I started looking at my walkout and looking at where my feet are, because I've had a muscle memory down to the fucking T for so many years that I never really think about where my feet are when I walk out of squat. And I look down, and even with just the barbell, my feet are not lined up. And I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. So it makes sense why my Olympic lifts are feeling better. Of course, lighter weight makes sense, and maybe when it comes to the explosiveness and less pressure placed on the tendon overall. But I never really thought of the idea that my feet wouldn't be aligned where they're supposed to be, because I've been doing this so long. And I don't think that that's been a constant issue in the past. I think it developed as my knee got worse and worse as I squatted more and more, to compensate for the pain on my left. So I did what I always tell you guys to do. And I sat there and I'm like, I gotta talk to somebody. So I shot the shit with a homie I know, and I met a new guy because I just saw a guy Olympic lifting and I was like, gotta meet him no matter what. Because I love knowing some more guys that do the shit that I do. And although the perspectives he gave were not exactly new information, I've been going through this for months. I've tried just about fucking everything, so it's not anything that I heard before. But the more I talked to him, the more I came to the senses myself of what my mind and body were telling me. And I've said it many times, and I think I've been living a bit of a delusion thinking otherwise, but you should not strength build a lift if even one part of that lift feels not at 100%, in my case, my left knee. I always tell people, if you've got a slightly worse left shoulder, let it heal. Even if you lose strength, come back at 100% and be better. And I have not been doing that. I've said it a couple times. It might be a better idea to just stop squatting for a little while altogether. You know, I squat 4 times a week, which I think is all right for the stuff that I was doing. It's never been an issue in the past. It's just the fact that so much pressure built up over time, my knee finally could not take it. And something else I've really been deluding myself of that I brought up is when it comes to a knee tendon injury, no matter what, the minimum time for recovery is typically 3 to 6 months. And I've been telling myself over and over, of course, no matter how long it is, I promise you, I will keep showing up, no matter fucking what. But I really didn't think that it would be the case this time. I thought that it would be a lesser injury, you know, something similar to the hand injury I had a while ago, where it was just 10 weeks and I was good. And I'm sitting here at, I'm actually at week 10 like right now, ironically. And I don't feel better, you know, and that will take a person down no matter how strong they are. I can't sit here and act like I'm perfect when I'm not able to put in 100% due to my own lack of attention towards something that needs to be worked on. So before I give you the game plan today, physically, I gotta let you guys know how I'm doing. Physically, honestly, I'll give it just a flat 7. And again, that's more because I just wasn't as mentally locked in. I wasn't as consistent to what I was wanting to do. But, you know, it did feel all right. You know, my snatches went pretty well. My bench did feel good, even though I went heavier than I should have for no reason, other than to satisfy my ego that was hurt from the months of dealing with this shit. But mentally, I'm going to give it a 7.7. You know, I it's a lot higher than I even expected to be, honestly, but I'm relieved, believe it or not, thinking about putting squat on the back burner for a while. Because I say it a lot, your body will tell you what it needs. You got to be able to know how to listen to your body, both mentally and physically. And I think my body's been telling me for a little while to really cool it, you know, just in general. It's time. Every day I wake up and my left knee's sore. It's not exactly in pain, but I can't squat on it like I do my right. And that alone is an issue. You know, I need full confidence on both sides to perform at a maximum every single day. So, although I'm sad and I'm, you know, it's part of the grieving process. I want to do other things. I gotta accept, you know, I gotta live in the moment and actually embrace the body I have right now. Because the body I've got right now is not optimal for what I'm trying to force it to do, no matter how much I don't want to say it. So what I think the plan's going to be for a while is I have been trying to go heavy for no reason the past couple weeks, whatever, how long it's been. Even when I hit the 315 power clean and jerk, I did feel recovered, but it was mostly ego. I need something that will drive the passion back out, you know, something that will keep me consistently giving it my all, because that's what it's really all about. And it may sound contradictory, but we're going to get on a normal program schedule. And of course, this is always good, but I know the first thought a lot of people may have is, why don't you just stop altogether, don't lift for a couple months, and just maintain with the bare minimum warm-ups, and then stretch your knee and just go from there? And yeah, I understand that might work for sure. I'm sure it could and probably would. But I want to do this at the most efficient and maximum level that I can for what I'm capable of doing. And we all know from my progress, Olympic lifts, all good, no pain. Bench press, all good, no pain. So why should those lifts have to suffer in strength just because one of them are not as linked up? And I'll tell you this now from my own experience. If you think that sitting back and letting all of your lifts take a back burner break just because one of them aren't working out as well so that you can come back at the exact same rate as when you started, it's a mistake. Because I can tell you right now, what normally happens if you do your training correctly is you will take, try not to lose my train of thought. You keep doing the lifts that you're able to. For me, it's my Olympic lifts and my bench. And so the moment your knee, or my knee, whatever injury you got, is healed, when you get to doing that normal program again, even if it's going to be a little bit weaker at first, you will make so much progress, even on one cycle on a program with that previously injured lift. You know, I can tell you right now, if I do this correctly the way it's supposed to go, and I just leave squat alone for a while, the whole plan is I'm going to keep doing my Olympic lifts on my bench like I normally do. I'm going to do the new program like I've been telling you guys that I wanted to try out. And every time I have a squat, let's say overhead squat, back, whatever kind of squat, I'm still going to do the barbell just to make sure I have the feeling down for what it's, I want to keep that consistency up at the bare minimum so I really know how it feels like. But other than just the barbell, and I'm going to for sure keep practicing my walkouts when it comes to my back squat, but I'm going to take all weight off of my squat for a while. And I'm solely I've seen the most progress, both with my research online and with what I've done on my own, by doing isolated single leg work for my left knee. And the issue that I ran into before that I think is the reason why I wasn't recovering, even though I was just doing accessories some of those weeks, was because I kept trying to push weight on it. I try to do split squats with 135 pounds on my back, and I try to do knees over toes squats elevated with 275 because it felt good in the moment. And egotistically, whether I thought so or not in the moment, I thought I was fine, but I wasn't. And I got that perspective and that knowledge and that experience now. But I need to do this without the weight, whether it's knee over toe squat, whether it's single leg pistol squat, whatever I'm going to do, my accessories need to be body weight. Because not only will that promote better balance and confidence on that one knee, but it'll take excess stress off that flexor, because when you do a weighted accessory even, the muscles in the quad around your knee have to flex way harder to prepare for the squat itself. And in my experience, at least with this, just doing single leg stand-ups off of a seat or something, I have to focus way more on my tendon than I would have to if I put weight on. A lot more quad would be activating than I would need, and it would take the pressure away from my knee tendon that needs the actual strength recovery. So anyway, I need that program. I'm getting back on it because I know for a fact at the moment that everything else is good. So whether or not it works or not, I don't care, because it's good experience to have. Because if it does work, great. I'll keep making more PRs on my other lifts and making strength in those lifts, and it will set me up better for when my squat comes back to 100%, and I will probably make the most progress. I guarantee you, I'm going to do a full-blown, I'm going to go run the whole thing, do one full cycle of my normal training program without squats, and then after this whole program, if there are no issues whatsoever, I'm going to hop on my program with back squats after this first cycle. And I think that if everything works the way I want it to and my knee fully recovers the way it should, I guarantee you, honestly, I will probably be squatting 500 by the end of that second cycle. Because I was so close before my knee got fucked up. And I've been maintaining that strength. The strength is there. My knee tendon is just not able to do the squat. And my walkout has developed a bad habit. So I need to isolate and give attention to these issues like I would always do otherwise. And importantly than anything else, be patient. Because I've really been impatient and negative on myself for my lack of being able to do what I would typically want to do with these lifts, and that's my fault. I told you guys, I'm only going to feel as bad as I allow my mentality to get. And I'll keep pushing the positivity, and I will make as good a barrier as I can, but sometimes I got to embrace that weakness and feel shitty for a moment to screw my head on straight and really see what needs to happen. So I'm full committed. This is the goal. The absolute goal is a full program, no squats, only bodyweight accessories when I have squats. See how that goes. If it doesn't work, then I'll just have to walk away from strength building altogether for a couple months. And again, that's still good knowledge to have, but I have to try for the sake of not just my current experience and knowledge, but my future experience and knowledge. Because the next time, if I ever know anybody or if I ever go through this again, I will know exactly what I can do in this scenario. I gotta try everything because it's trial and error at its finest, But by the end of this first cycle, if everything goes the way I want it to, I'll do the whole program again, like I would always do, with back squats, and see where we go. And again, it might not work, but god damn it, that's okay. I gotta be okay with the fact that it might not be okay. And I'm gonna keep running that shit as long as I can, because god damn it, I am one consistent, disciplined, and passionate motherfucker. If I wasn't, I would not have come back to the gym after this injury. I will tell you that now. If I didn't love it like I do, and I wasn't as committed and disciplined and passionate as I am right now, you wouldn't be seeing me. I love it too much. It gives me life. But we're going to get there. I promise. I know these videos may be lackluster, and I do truly apologize for that, but I'm going to give you guys my full raw 100% every single day. And sometimes it's just not the full peppy, I can squat 500 pounds guy, I don't like being the injured guy, but I'm not going to grow past being the injured guy unless I embrace that for what it is in the moment. So for now, I'm injured. Got to treat myself that way. I got to treat myself like I'm an old man. I got to get back in the program and just leave squats alone, rebuild it back up, see where it goes, And at the very worst, it just doesn't end up working the way I want it to. And that's not bad. That's fine. Because that leaves me more room to grow. God damn it. Every time you feel like you've hit a bottom, that just shows you how much more room you have to grow. Promise. And I will be better because of it. So, rest day tomorrow, so you won't be seeing me, but I'm really excited to be able to try getting back on the normal program. I'm going to write it down tonight and get excited for it. And I hope you guys will keep joining me for this journey. I know it's been a lot of just me complaining about my knees for the past 2.5 months, but it means the world that you guys stick around, at least whoever is, It's a wonderful feeling, and I couldn't be more grateful to have a community like you guys sticking around and hearing me out for what my journey is going to be with the sport. So let me know how the lives and lifts have been going. Keep doing it. Do what you love. Embrace everything for what it is. And I'll be back as always with as much passion as I can give you guys. I love you. I'll be back. See ya.